The dreaded Sentient Pest makes his long-awaited re-debut in Elden Ring Nightreign in a new and terrifying form. If 2 enemies weren't enough on the battlefield, you can now try your hand at besting 3. Or worse, how about besting 3 enemies that repeatedly revive themselves? Thankfully though, compared to previous fights in the Everdark Sovereign series, Sentient Pest is a pushover in strength and complexity. However, this fight is not all about skill dodging long chain attacks or clever builds. This is first and foremost the ultimate test of stamina and strategy. So without further ado, here's our guide for the Sentient Pest Everdark Sovereign in Elden Ring Nightreign. The Everdark Sentient Pest is a strange creature in that having any strategy at all makes this boss extraordinarily easy when compared to other Everdark Sovereign fights. This fight's flow completely depends on how you wish to best the pest. This is because of the unique gimmick of this fight. When one enemy is downed, Animus temporarily possesses their body and makes them into a stronger version of themselves. Having this knowledge beforehand will be your key to success, because if you hate the Scorpion, you should target the Moth Noster. And if you hate Noster, you should target the Scorpion Fortis. Build a strategy around the boss you want to prioritize. If you can't remember the movesets of these bosses, you can check back to our Sentient Pest guide. Quick tip that the Sentient Pest is weak to fire damage, applying to all enemies. Therefore, armaments that deal fire damage are a high priority here. For recommended characters, how you prefer to fight the Sentient Pest in this form will determine the best characters to fight it. If you prefer melee-styled combat, Wilder and Raider are the best choices here. And if you prefer range-style combat, then Iron Eye and Recluse will excel in this fight. However, there is one character that does well regardless of style and should be brought in this expedition, and that's Duchess. Wilder is fantastic due to his ability to use Flame Strike when performing his character skill. His ultimate art also deals fire damage on top of the stagger, making him ideal for facing the Scorpion. Raider can deal high damage to the hard shell of the Scorpion using strength-based bludgeoning weapons, while also using Totem Stella to stagger or block out the Moth's attacks. It also provides a method of reaching Animus by jumping from above. Iron Eye and Recluse can both reach Animus and Noster easily. By their ability to reach Animus, the fight can end significantly quicker. Their big downside is that both are poor at dodging in their own ways, making some attacks tricky to avoid, and suffer from being a bit squishy. Furthermore, Iron Eye's damage is low, while any of Recluse's magic damage is resisted by Noster and Animus. Duchess is a champion here for the ability to dodge all attacks in the moveset with great ease. She's also able to revive teammates and deal double damage. With the ability to cast magic as well as use handheld weapons interchangeably, she can fit anywhere on a team and hit all bosses equally. She's a jack of all trades that excels above others in this fight. The moveset of the Sentient Pest depends on whether any bosses are incapacitated. In Phase 3, Animus will appear to possess the boss that died first. However, Animus will have a single move that he can use when he is not possessing. Red Pillars of Light is that single attack of Animus. Like the original light pillars from the second phase, pillars will indicate their incoming position on the ground with red light. After a brief delay, these pillars will fire. However, unlike Phase 2, these pillars are numerous and fire multiple times over the arena. Eventually, they'll condense into one massive pillar, which creates a circular wave that expands into a larger area and continuously fires. During this time, Fortis the Scorpion will be hardened and immune to damage. To avoid this, you'll want to dodge and sprint out of the Pillar of Light's range. When the large pillar appears, run away and keep your distance, aware that the circle can expand if you're too close. For the possessed version of these bosses, Fortis the Scorpion is slow but heavy-hitting in his possessed state. The most dangerous aspect of him is his delayed explosive attacks when using his normal stomps. His ultimate at the end of his possession will be Waves of Red. After a brief roar, Fortis begins to bash his head into the ground. Where he bashes his head, giant fanning red waves appear and detonate after delay. He'll do this 5 times before pausing for a roar and one final big head bash and red wave explosion. After, he'll fall limp on the ground and is immobile for several seconds. This will separate Animus and Fortis. To counter this, you'll want to dodge to the side, sprinting when necessary and dodging forward through a wave if unable to reach the far side of a wave. Keep your distance from Fortis' head to avoid needing to double dash and overuse stamina. Noster is the easier of the two possessed forms, but harder to reach. His attacks can be difficult for slower players to dodge and come in multiple waves. Rain of Red Stars is his ultimate, and this attack will require constant dodge spamming to prevent being hit and staggered into multiple instances of damage. Pausing it all can be fatal. To identify this attack, Noster will rise high above and fire red magic beams into the sky. The skybox takes on the appearance of 100 red stars. They then begin firing down on the arena in rapid succession and at all angles. Noster will begin seizing in the sky before falling to the ground. Once on the ground, Noster will be immobile for a short time and then be separated from Animus to return into its Phase 1 attacks. To counter this, you'll want to rapidly dodge in a single direction, any direction. It's important here to not pause to drink flasks or revive teammates, as the Rain of Red Stars can reach you pretty easily if you're not dodging. Once the stars are finished, either attack Animus or revive any fallen teammates. At the start of Phase 3, Animus will appear to heal his teammates. During the fight, when one boss falls, Animus will then possess them and change their moveset. If a boss falls while Animus is possessing that boss, then that boss will remain incapacitated until Animus is free. And last, Animus will always end his possession of a boss by using that boss's ultimate attack. This fight will only end when Animus' health bar is fully depleted. Once Animus is gone, all bosses on the field will immediately die. Therefore, the one way to end this fight is to defeat Animus. To damage him, you can either attack in melee at the end of Red Pillars of Light, use ranged attacks on Animus, hit possessed enemies to split their damage, and continuously defeat the two bosses on the ground, one after the other. Quick tip that you can strike Animus and the possessed boss for great sums of damage at the end of a possession as well. After an ultimate, the possessed boss will be inert for several seconds, allowing you to get some strong hits in. The best strategy to deal with this Everdark Sovereign fight is to follow these steps. Choose the boss that you like fighting the most and focus on that boss with 2 players. The third player should focus on distracting and slowly dealing damage to the other boss. Focus on dealing lots of damage during the beginning and end of any Animus possession. Where possible, deal damage to Animus, especially if you have a ranged group of characters. And lastly, ideally, the second possession should take place when both bosses are knocked out, meaning there is only one boss up on the field. Quick tip that if any one of your party members falls during this fight, the best time to revive them is during the end of an Animus possession, when he and his host are incapacitated and when Noster is performing a dig attack. Party members should be left alone if an ultimate attack or the Red Pillars of Light are active. As a reward for clearing this fight, you'll receive 25 Sovereign Sigils as well as the right to purchase a new relic from the Collector's Signboard. The new relic will increase your maximum FP, restore your FP with successive attacks, and opening a Sorcerer's Rise will permanently increase your maximum FP. Good luck on your next Everdark Sovereign expedition.